Hello, I'm BX and welcome back to the second channel video. Today I have a weird one-off video because I decided to get DNA tested. That's right, that's a weird start to a video. But there is a website called 23andMe. It's like an online DNA test thing, and it's set up by the founder of Google's ex-wife. Don't ask me why that gave it legitimacy, but basically she had like a weird sales pitch of like, people should know more about their health, so I'm going to make a website and test them. And yeah, basically I went and did a test. It was like over a month and a half ago now, but now the test results have arrived, and I figured why not share them on the internet, because that's how oversharing on YouTube works these days. You get to know everything about me, including where I'm from and my health risks and a few other weird things you can learn from DNA, so hopefully you do all enjoy today's video. Let's get straight into it. So let's start with the first and most important bit, which is the bit I was most interested in, which is the ancestral composition, because you can see it by chromosome, because the way a DNA test works, as I vaguely understand, is it loosely works out a little bit of your chromosomes, so it can work out where they're from, and yeah, so as you can see, there's 23 or 22 in X, whatever that means. Maybe that's bad, maybe that's good, whatever. But yeah, basically there's 23 chromosomes, and it can like kind of combine those results to work out where you're roughly from. And I always thought these maps would be like kind of a bit bogus. The one I saw just said like 90% European when I saw someone else do it. But as it turns out, yeah, it's pretty accurate, because if you don't know, one of my grandparents, therefore about 25% of me, give or take, is from Sri Lanka, the island off the coast of India, and the thing actually got 20.3% South Asian. So clearly it actually knows what it's doing, or it looked me up and it knows it that way. But yeah, still, yeah, so 20.3% South Asian is the kind of big overall group. It's got a little bit of Eastern Native European American in there. It's got a little bit of Southeast Asian, that's right, and 1.4% Philippines / Vietnam / all those other countries there, which is intriguing to me. Got a little bit of East Asian, and then broadly East Asian and Native American. So, I mean, I can probably argue I'm very slightly Native American and, like, I don't know, go gamble on some reserves or something. That's how that works, right? Anyway, so yeah, as well as being 20.3% South Asian and roughly 25%, it's, I think it's like 23% roughly Asian. I am 77% European, as it turns out. So that's no surprise. I mean, you look at me, I'm like, you probably couldn't even work out the Asian, because you're like, you are so white, so you get like, look, this is the skin tone I am. I'm a very white person, I know, something video games. But yeah, basically I'm 77% European, which is pretty predictable. But what's interesting to me is the breakup of this, because only, I think that, what is that, like, only, wait, let's go back to standard, let's go to a standard view of this. Only something like, 50, I think maybe it's speculative if we want. But yeah, basically, I'm only like a decent amount of that actually is straightly from Britain, Ireland, which is where I'm from. I think I'm like meant to be like 50% English and like 25% Irish, but apparently just 25.4. Then there's 3% French and German in there. No idea where that comes from. A little bit of Scandinavian, which everybody loves a bit of Scandinavian in them. Some broadly Northwestern European, which I assume just means UK, but not able to pin it down close enough. And then the rest is where things get weird, because there is some Iberian, which is Spain and Portugal, if you don't know. I actually had been told that I had like a Portuguese great grand something, so apparently it got that. Some Sardinian, which is a very bizarre specific group to get, and then some broadly Southern European. And in fact, if I click this little box right here, you can see every single population you can get. I'm apparently 0% Ashkenazi Jewish, apparently 0% of that, apparently 0% Balkan, apparently 0% Italian, 0% of lots of things, because that's how DNA works. Anyway, so yeah, I was really intrigued by this, but this is just the start of where the DNA test goes, because we can also go check out some health stuff. So we go to my results, we can see stuff like genetic risk factors for health conditions, which honestly, it's really scary, because some of them are like locked down. So as you can see, I've got a typical risk for pretty much everything, which is like, But if you look at the, there's actually 3 they lock down, because they're the ones that like, kind of like from House, you know how, I think her name was 23 or 13 or something, she had Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. I don't know. I haven't watched House in a while, but like she didn't want to know. It's kind of like that, where they're like, you don't have to know this stuff, but I can find it out if I want to. And I haven't honestly entirely decided it, and I figured like doing it on the internet's probably a bit weird. But let's do one just to see how it works. So we click, yep, I'm pretty sure. Give me the results. Oh, what am I? Okay, I have to opt in. Okay. Well, I guess we won't do that then. So let's go to drug response, my response to various drugs, which is kind of interesting, because as you can see, I thought they were all going to be typical again, but as you can see, mostly typical, but then I've got a reduced metabolism for sulfonylurea, which I think is like a really specific drug for diabetes, if I'm not mistaken. Type 2 diabetes, which is bad, I think, so let's hope I don't get type 2 diabetes. I've got an increased sensitivity to a epilepsy drug, and a reduced sensitivity to hepatitis C treatment, so let's just pray I don't get that hepatitis C. We got some warfarin sensitivity, and I've got a rapid amount of proton pump metabolism. What does that mean? So, drugs that limit the production of stomach acid. Okay, so I increase it. Okay, I get that. So, fortunately, I think I have the exact opposite problem. So I'm glad I have the rapid thing, so that's almost a good thing. But yeah, the more interesting thing to me is the inherited conditions and the traits and stuff. So we'll go to, like, traits first. Because what your DNA can tell you is whether you're more likely or less likely to have certain things. So, for instance, alcohol flush reaction does not flush, which is true. I don't, like, go bright pink. Actually, I think I've done it, like, once, but you know how I think it's called, like, Asian glow? Usually, like, lots of people go flush and stuff. As you can see, little or no flushing reaction to alcohol. However, interestingly enough, like, they don't say it directly, but if you look at the 3 types of genes you can have when it comes to alcohol, these ones are, like, unlikely to become dependent on alcohol, somewhat less likely to become dependent on it, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I can become dependent on alcohol. Isn't that wonderful? So, yeah, that's the first one right here. Bitter taste perception, can taste bitter. I've confirmed that many times, which is maybe what it is this is like a rare thing and most people can't, and that's why they can drink beer. That's my official suspicion. So can taste bitter. 80% chance of not being able to taste certain bitters, which is not one I have, which is pretty cool. 10% chance of having blonde hair. It doesn't actually know, but I fun fact, don't have blonde hair. Earwax type, wet. It got that correct, which, again, it gives me legitimacy when it makes a wild guess that is actually correct, like the wet thing. Eye color, lightly brown. The cool thing about my eyes is they're not actually... So, I think the way it goes on like this is it says my eyes are less likely to be green, but if you look at my eyes, it says... in Europeans, 50% chance of 56% chance of brown eyes, 37% chance of green eyes, and 7% chance of blue. And the cool thing about them is it's like doubly right on that because wait. I don't know how to like properly show an eye to a webcam, but I hope I'm looking at you right now. I kind of actually like my eyes. They're like a weird mix of brown and green. And fun fact, but you know, since this is a weird video where I'm just talking about everything about me, apparently, a useful little thing, like, I didn't believe the whole, like, if you look into someone's eyes, you just kind of know about them. But, like, it's something I realized a while that, yeah, when you look into someone's eyes, you can kind of, like, see their raw emotion on you or something like that. And, yeah, look into people's eyes, they're good. Or look into mine, I like mine. Anyway, next up we've got hair curl, which is slightly curly on average. So... I don't know if that matches my hair. Like, what does honestly, like, besides looking at this picture where I'm like, that's curly hair, I don't know, like, what straight or curly hair really means in this context, but apparently I've got a bit of curl in there. Likely tolerant to lactose, which is true, I think. Male pattern baldness, increased odds. Heck yeah. Everyone's favorite thing to have, so let's just keep the hair on as long as we can. Likely sprinter. I mean, I usually don't sprint, but it's good that we can, right? So I've got many world-class performance sprinters have this genotype. That's me, burning my genes and playing video games since since I was born, apparently. Resistance most common strain of norovirus. Should we look up what norovirus is? I probably should have done that, shouldn't I? Stomach flu. Viral gastritis, basically horrible things. I'm resistant to it. Good news, guys. I'm resistant to something horrible. Then we got red hair, 5% chance, but not actually a chance to be it. A chance to be. I've got a most high chance of being a carrier. So if I have a child, they might be red-headed, and I don't have to look at my wife and give her the stink eye or whatever. So as well as that, though, we also have a likely if a smoker, likely to smoke more. Good to know. I'm not a smoker, but if I was, I'd smoke a whole bunch, apparently. And then we got most of these things are kind of dull, like they're just kind of like, oh yeah, you probably consume more caffeine than most people will. I think that's what it was, right? Yeah, subjects who drank coffee consumed a high amount of per average. Yep, that's true. And caffeine metabolism, which I found really interesting, is heart attack risk increase. Which I always like whenever I take caffeine, I usually like do way too much, and I feel like everything starts to die a bit. So I guess I've been taking a bit of a risk with that one. Now I know based on this DNA test. So before we go for the end here, because I think there might be one more, inherited conditions. I don't think we can do that. Oh, no, we can do it. Okay. So we've only got one of these. Variant present. That means I have a higher chance of hearing loss. So I think that's like a genetic one, like a at birth one. So let's hope that's not a thing. Everything else is just variant absent, which is good news. You don't want to have any of this stuff. So good news there. Anyway, the final thing you can do with this website is work out people who might be related to you who have also used the website. So I think there's only like a few thousand people on it right now or something like that. So it's probably not going to be too useful right now, but it can still work out down to like the third to fourth cousin who's just some random male that doesn't even have a location. Then look at the next person, Georgia Westenine Wright from the female 1967, somewhere in those places. Then she's a third to fourth cousin with a 0.7% match, and isn't that kind of cool? And it can do all of this sort of stuff, and it can't just, not only can it do it by like this. Look, Evan Church, he's my third to fifth cousin, which it sounds ridiculous to have so many third to fifths, but because family sizes a couple of generations back were so big. I think there's like thousands of possible people. But yeah, there's all these potentially related people. And if I wanted to reach out to cousins and stuff, which would be a bit weird, honestly, I could do that. And there's even a map, I think, so I can be like, oh yeah, so I live near London if you don't know. Let's look nearby me and let's see where my nearest people are. So we got a male fourth cousin from Radlett. Oh yeah, Radlett's everyone's favourite place. And we got someone from St. Albans who is a fourth cousin too. That's pretty cool, actually, the fact that... Wait, let's click over here as well. We got a fourth cousin from Cambridge as well. We got wait, what is this? A fifth cousin from Ireland, Central Bedfordshire. I don't know if Ireland is in Central Bedfordshire, but still pretty cool. We got 13 from up north somewhere. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of people from around there. I don't know, because the thing is because my family, like, they're all from different places. No one's actually from where I live near London. Like, the actual, like, people that might have any form of relation is, like, I have no idea how to work it out. Like, maybe over here, I think. Okay, my point being with all of this, I think I've been going on long enough about my DNA, is that I am a person from... this confirmed lots of things I knew, and the things it's going to teach me probably are to do with these things. Like, I'm going to have to consider, like, whether I want to, like, opt in, because you have to go through some effort and stuff. I've learned that if I have a child, there'll be a redheaded with a slightly higher chance... slightly higher chance of being redheaded with a slightly higher chance of hearing loss, so that's something you gotta look into, I guess. And also... wait, you can do a Neanderthal ancestry. Well, okay, let's do this. Okay, so 2.4% of me is Neanderthal, and the average user is 2.7%, which puts me in the top 13, or in the 13th percentile. So top 87% is that? Pretty cool, pretty cool. And if I was a Nigerian, I'd be in the top 1%. Or if I was in the Japanese, I'd be pretty bad. Okay, whatever. Point being here is that I'm an average Japanese person, isn't it? In terms of Neanderthal DNA. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, I hope you did enjoy today's video. 23andMe is the website. I can't say I recommend it. Like, I don't think it's value for money. I just think it's fun, and I figured this video would be kind of worth it. Let me know what you think with the comments down below. I have Geography of Toy Cat coming out tomorrow and stuff, so I'll see you all then. Bye. F9.